Alright friends, welcome back. I just showed you guys how to make your crystals with watercolor paints. This is going to be the washable marker video tutorial. So for this project, guys, we are going to be making gems out of water and magic marker. So for this project, what you'll need is preferably watercolor paper or your thickest paper available. The thicker the better. You don't want to use really thin paper since we're putting water on this. It'll just kind of deteriorate the paper and might rip, so I want you guys to use the thickest paper you have possible. Just a basic 8-pack of broadline washable markers works perfect. Make sure they're washable and not permanent, because if they're permanent, it's not going to work with the water. We need these colors to bleed a little bit when we put water on them, so make sure they're washable. You will need just any container for water and a paintbrush. I just have a simple watercolor round tip paintbrush. Preferably painter's tape or masking tape to tape down your paper. If you don't have that, don't use Scotch tape. You'll just have to deal with your paper curling up, and when it's dry, put it underneath of a really heavy book to flatten it out. This is just so our artwork doesn't get curled up as we're working on it. So if you don't have that, don't use Scotch tape. Just put a heavy book on it later when it's dry. You'll need a Sharpie, a permanent marker, any permanent marker is fine, a pencil, eraser, and a ruler. And that is all you need to start this project today. I just want to remind you, I sent out a PDF file showing you how to draw your own crystals, so I'm not really going to go over that as much in this video. This is going to be more about just coloring them with markers and water. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tape off my paper, and the reason I'm doing this is just so that my paper doesn't curl up as it dries. So when we put water on paper, it has a tendency to curl up over time. And that just kind of gets in the way as you're working if your paper's curling up on you. So I'm taping mine down with just painter's tape. If you don't have painter's tape or masking tape at home, or even like artist tape, if you have any parents that paint, that's okay. Don't use any kind of Scotch tape. Scotch tape will rip apart your paper, and I don't want your hard work to get ruined. So don't use Scotch tape. And it looks like I need to add a little more right there. Yeah, so you don't want to use Scotch tape. Scotch tape will ruin your artwork. Alright, so I'm almost finished taping off my paper. It'll also give us a really pretty border when we're done. And again, I just want to remind you, I'm using watercolor paper, but if you are not in the means of getting any paper, or you don't have any thick paper at home, that's okay. Just use whatever paper you have. Try to use your thickest paper possible. So maybe like thick construction paper that's white would do well too. I'm using watercolor paper just because that's what I have at home, thankfully. And I'm gonna go ahead and get started with drawing my own crystals. So in the last video, I did a crystal cluster. Today, what I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to be, let's see, I'm gonna measure this. This is 11 inches. I'm going to be doing just one single gem. After you have drawn your basic gem shape, what you're going to do is you are going to go over all your lines with a Sharpie. Alright, so now I've traced all of my lines. I even added an extra shape in the center because I just thought that was a lot of open space. But now I've traced all my lines and I'm ready to start painting. So we are going to start with our markers. I'm gonna open these up, and I got these at Five Below. I think like $3, but you can get these anywhere pretty cheap. And what we're gonna do is I'm kind of feeling a warm colored gem. So I'm gonna use my warm colors, which are red, orange, and yellow. Now, if we look at these three colors, we want to think of terms of value. So value is how dark or light something is. It's not the same kind of value as we put on money or how much things are worth. Value in art is used how dark or light something is. And if we were to look at these colors, these three colors, which do you think would be the lightest? Yellow would be the lightest. Out of the darkest of the colors, red would be the darkest, and orange is kind of like our middle ground. So if we're looking at something that would be really, really light, that would be our yellow. Something that would be really dark would be our red, and our orange will just be in the middle. So anywhere we have a shadow or something dark, we're going to be using our red. So I'm going to start with red, and I'm just going to kind of color on the edges right here. So I'm coloring the edges down here red because red is my dark color, and the light is most likely on gems going to be hitting top, so, or where the corners are. So I'm going to come down here, come down here. Okay, so it's just right there. And again, notice I'm kind of just scribbling. I'm staying inside of the lines, obviously, but I'm just going all over the place with this marker. I have my red. Now I'm going to add a lot of yellow. So my yellow is going to be my highlight. So my yellow, I'm going to put kind of top of each edge. So think of the edges here are going down, and the points, these lines right here, are coming up. So this is where the highlight is. The low light or the shadow where we're putting red is down here. So that's why we want the edges on the inside of the gem to be yellow, and we want the outside edges that are going away from the light to be red, because that's our shadow. And lots of yellow here on top. Lots of yellow. All right, and then the rest I'm just gonna fill in with some orange. This orange is kind of like my middle. I'm just gonna fill in my orange. It's gonna be kind of like the in-betweeny between my light and my dark, which is my yellow and my red. So now I'm ready to start adding water. So I'm gonna take my brush, and I don't want tons and tons of water, but I'm just gonna use my brush and start blending those colors together. And notice you can still see some of those lines. That's okay, but that just shows you that it doesn't work the same way as watercolor. This is just ink that we're spreading around. So you still will have a couple of lines, but it's totally fine because we're using a different medium, or which means we're using a different art tool to make our artwork. That's what medium means. We've kind of talked about that in some of our classes. And I'm just going up and down, back and forth with my brush. Not using a ton of water, just enough to blend it, because if I use way too much water, what will happen is you can kind of tell my paper will start to curl even though I have it taped down. It'll still curl up a little bit, and what will happen is I'll start to get like pools of water, and I don't really want that much. spots that I might have missed. So let me be like down here. Looks like I missed some spots right here. All right, so there is my gem. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start working on the background. So for the background, we're gonna do things a little different. We're just gonna use some water. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna paint around our gem. So I'm gonna do little sections at a time. Going around. This time, I'm gonna use blue and green for my backgrounds. So I'm gonna just, in my water, just tap my green to start with. You can even go like little circles. See how the ink will spread around? And then I'm gonna take my blue, I'm gonna come over here, do the same thing. Wherever the water is, it's spreading that ink around. Which is why we put the water down first, but you can always go back and add more. And go all the way down to where you have it taped off, because then we'll have a really cool border when we're done. You know, I'm just gonna keep these caps off instead of putting them back on and taking them off, since I'm using them over and over and over again. We're just gonna keep doing this till we fill our whole background. So now I'm gonna work my way up. What might start to happen is your markers will kind of lose some of their ink. See how my green is turning kind of light? I don't know if you can see that. But once that happens, that's just saying your markers need a break. It doesn't mean that all the ink is taken out of them. It just means what's the ink that's sucked into that little nib, the little pointed tip. That's just kind of, it needs to be refilled. And the markers have more ink in them that go deeper down. They just need to, the tip needs to soak that back up again. So if you're getting to a point where you have no more ink and like nothing's really coming out, you just need to give your markers a break. So maybe give your artwork a little time to rest, time to dry a little bit, and just come back to it. That's okay if you don't finish it in one sitting. Normally we don't finish anything in one sitting in art class, so that's totally fine if you have to give your markers a break. So the reason I had you guys put down water first this time instead of coloring first is the effect we get when we use water first is completely different than the effect we get when we put down the marker first. So it's just a different technique that we can use that I wanted you guys to experiment with. And notice some of my paper is starting to come up in these little balls. Totally fine. Once my paper dries, I'll just brush them right off and my artwork will be as good as new. But all right, that looks pretty awesome. So I'm gonna let this dry. And after that, we will take off the tape. All right, so once your artwork is totally dried, you will be able to take off your tape. I'm gonna move these markers aside. Make sure you wait till it's totally dry. Otherwise, oh my goodness, get out of here. Make sure you wait till your artwork is totally dry. Otherwise, your tape might rip off some of your paper, and we don't really want you to ruin your artwork. So I'm gonna carefully now you have your finished gem And notice I do have some of my like bleeding in here, but I kind of like it, you know? I mean, it kind of shows maybe the light from the background is getting inside of the gem a little bit. That starts to happen too. But this definitely has some shadows where my red is and some highlights where my yellow is. So I think it turned out pretty awesome. Let me know how you guys like this. Take pictures of your artwork. Have your parents send it to my email, amy.norod@welland.org. I will put that in the link, or I will also include that. Make sure if you finish these projects, you show me what you're working on. I would love to see it. I look forward to seeing you guys soon and look forward to more art projects in the following weeks until we come back to school. All right, stay healthy, guys. Bye.